minute, and then we will go live on Instagram as well simultaneously. Just a minute. Okay, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us this evening. It's a little later than usual in India, but so we have something very interesting as part of our Ask, Learn, and Do series. Today, we are talking about the MSc in Entrepreneurship and Venture Management that is being newly launched for September 2025 at the University of Galway. Hi, everyone. And so we have with us Dr. Ishan Keefe, who's program director of this particular MSc. And we also have Professor Jonathan Levy, who is professor of entrepreneurship and regional development at University of Galway. So again, warm welcome to both of you, and thank you for doing this with us today.
You're welcome.
Great. So maybe we could just, for all those who are joining us now, maybe if you could just begin, Ishan, by giving us an overview of this master's program.
Of course, happy to. Thank you, Anand, for this introduction. So, hi everyone. I'm Yixing. As Anand mentioned, I will be the program director, and I am for this master program. And I may start what is special and unique about this program because you may already know there has been different master programs in entrepreneurship. But what is special about this one is that we figured out that in entrepreneurship, there are a lot of possibilities and positions to be a part of the entrepreneurship field, but without having to be an entrepreneur yourself. And in a lot of other master programs, we figured out, or we find that they mostly focus on train the students to be an entrepreneur and develop your own business and find your market product fit. And in this program, what we aim to do is that to equip our students with the skills of working in entrepreneurial teams. For example, as a what we call founders associate. This is a relatively new role, but in this role, you are acting as a right-hand person of the founder. So you are really getting overview of how the whole entrepreneur project and the venture team functions, how it operates. Meanwhile, in this program, we've also find the skill sets might be helpful for those students who are the next generation of family business. Because this kind of, leading something new is the kind of skills for this generation or next generation of family business heir who need to do something that is a bit different from what the parents has done in the past years. So this is the two groups, or let's say two features of this program. And based on this aim or objective of this program, so we have designed a very engaging curriculum in a way that, which Jonathan will talk a bit more with you later. But in the whole curriculum design, we have a lot of engagement with local business here in Galway, because in Galway, we do have a very vibrant entrepreneurial ecosystem here. So there's a lot of engagement and interaction, and also working together, collaboration with local new venture teams. So this is something, I may start here, but I'm sure that we're gonna share more details with you later.
No, that's great. Thank you. That's a great start, Ishan. And I would pause here and ask everyone if you have questions. I mean, I have a few things that I'm going to ask our speakers today. But if you have any questions for them about this master's or studying at Galway, then please put them down in the chat and we'll make sure to ask them. So, Jonathan, maybe you could then, take away from where Ishan was talking about the masters and give us an idea of what the semesters look like and what are the sort of modules you will be covering.
Sure. Hi, everybody. So we have 3 semesters in this program. It's a year long. And the modules are all based on research which shows what sort of skills startup ventures and scaling up ventures need in order to succeed. In fact, I'm just back from a research conference on entrepreneurial ecosystems, and I was really pleased to see that the way we've designed the module really fits beautifully with some of the most recent research on the sort of services that startups need. So what kind of skills are founders missing that they need to find in the environment around them? And so the idea is that we train people through this program in those skills so that they can help the founders from inside the venture to realize their dreams. So we start in semester one with some basic sort of professional skills, a really exciting course on international entrepreneurship. So we're thinking big from the beginning. I would point out three different skills that are really critical for startups. One is selling. So founder selling is quite a unique course that we teach. We've been teaching here for a number of years. Another one is strategy. So you'll be doing strategic management. Another really important one, and actually surprisingly, this is the one that came out as most critical in that recent research I talked about, and that's HR management. So how to hire the right people and how to treat them right. So those will all be taking place in the first semester, and then we get into some more kind of heavy stuff in semester two. So a big module on entrepreneurial financial management, which covers finance for startup and for scaling, but also digital analytics, which covers not just finance, but also people management, sales, so CRM. That's increasingly important. And also in semester two, you get to choose two different electives depending on your background. So if you're an engineer, you might have had some project management already, but you might want some negotiation skills, for example. Or you might be really interested in the area of sustainability. So you could take our Introduction to Sustainability course, which we teach right across the university, and you'll be mixing with students from all sorts of different backgrounds. So there's a whole range of different electives that you could take. Then in semester two, we have what we call our Managing Scaling Ventures Summer School. And that's a really advanced, sort of state-of-the-art summer school based on very recent research from all over the world. So we have the Center for Entrepreneurial Growth and Scaling here. And we're founder members of the European Scale-Up Institute. So we're taking all that very recent research and knowledge on how you manage this very difficult process of scaling up a venture. And we're putting it all into this summer school. And then you do a final applied consultancy report. So that's working with a founder on something of critical importance to them. It could be developing a sales strategy. It could be developing financial sort of forecasting scenarios. It could be a strategy to scale up. And you won't just be thrown in the deep end with that, because in a number of the other modules, you'll also have been working with different founders on specific projects. So through the course, you meet with and work with a number of founders, and you get a feel for how you could help founders. I think Yassine can tell you a little bit more about those, the nature of that kind of job role now, because it's quite special and really quite new too. So
if you could shed light on that, Ishan.
Okay.
Yes, of course, happy to. And before that, I would like to add one point to what Jonathan said, because Jonathan said, I definitely agree that it's a curriculum design that really fits what the entrepreneur team and the founder needs, especially. And also, Jonathan mentioned we're going to have multiple interaction and collaboration with local teams in multiple modules, so that you are really it's immersive learning in a way that you are working with different venture teams during this academic year. And also we have the leading scholars in the team here that gonna deliver all the modules. Like Jonathan, he's really one of the leading scholar in entrepreneur ecosystem. Then we have also Esther. Esther will be delivering the managing scaling venture module, and she is really a leading scholar in the area of scaling. So we do have the most up-to-date expertise and like leading scholars that fit into the curriculum delivery. And then back to the question about the founders associate role. So it is a relatively new role, but I think to my understanding, the role is not new, but maybe the name is relatively new, because a lot of founders have been, especially when the team grows, they need someone to help with managing the team. And it fits back to what Jonathan shared with you earlier, the importance of managing people, getting the right people, and then also retain and also grow those talents in a way that align with the growth of the team. So the founders associate role is really, it's like you get an overview of the whole team, and then you also need to strategically help the founder in prioritizing different tasks and the different, of the operations in the whole team. So I would say it's a very exciting role. And also specifically in Ireland, you might know that a lot of multinationals, they will choose Ireland for their European headquarters. So a lot of team, they are really scaling here in a way that there is a lot of potential of getting into those roles. And also in Ireland, we have also a good number of family business here. So a lot of the family business, they would be looking for people maybe to manage the business. So there is potential, and also we have seen a growing trend in the request in this kind of roles.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we've interviewed founders associates to understand what it is they do. We've interviewed their CEOs to find out why they went for a founders associate in the first place. And sometimes these work out and sometimes these don't. So we have a pretty good idea of what the sort of secret sauce is, what makes for a really good founders associate. We also have links into London now, which of course is a huge kind of central node, one of the most active places in Europe, for probably the most active actually for startups, for concentration of startups. And so there are specialist HR agencies that actually place graduates as founders associates into startups and scale-ups. And all of that is growing.
Yeah. No, that's very fascinating, because my next question was going to be, who exactly, how did you tailor this? And you've obviously had a very detailed sort of process where you've spoken to CEOs and founders, and what's interesting is that in India we do also have students who come from business families. It is a huge thing over here, and I think for them, rather than doing perhaps an MBA or a very typical sort of degree, and then coming back and helping with their family business, this is something that would, I think, get them the right skills instead of just a regular MBA.
I could mention something. So this is my third master's in entrepreneurship. So I've been at this game for a long time, about 4 decades. And so with this, I'm thinking back to some of the previous masters that I've helped develop in other universities. And one of the things that surprised us was how many students we got from a fairly long established family business ventures. And we were asking, why are you going on an entrepreneurship master's when you're going to be going back into the family business?
Right.
And they said, well, it's because it's been decided that I'm going to start this new division or new venture into kind of a new area for the family business. And I need to find out how to manage new ventures, because that's different from managing the established family venture. But you can imagine the difference that will make to the credibility of that next generation, the heir, if they succeed with that new venture. The difference that will make to the way their parents see them, as worthy heirs, but also the employees of that family business. So it's a way of gaining legitimacy, and it makes sense to learn how to do this before you do it. So all the skills that are part of this course also work for these people, as well as for students who would go on to be founders associates with a CEO in a startup.
Great, great. No, and I think that's brilliant to think ahead and make a master's for these roles. And that is exactly what Ireland is doing right now. They're listening into industries and companies and creating the right sort of education and providing the right skill sets for such grad roles. I did have some follow-up questions also about you. You mentioned a couple of things there, Jonathan. So one thing is, the summer school that you mentioned, is that something that it's only the sort of students from this particular program? Will they be participating, or will there be anyone else that could join in?
Well, of course, we have guest speakers all the time, and they'll be an important part of this. And we also do field trips. So Yisin mentioned Professor Esther Tipman, who's a very eminent expert in the global scaling of entrepreneurial ventures. And she's written quite a number of cases that are taught all over the world. And one of them is on a sort of health tech venture, which is American, and set up its EMEA base, so that's Europe, Middle East, and Africa, in Galway, right here in this city. So there's that's an example of where we might go out to that company, talk with the CEO of the Irish division, and talk to them about how they managed to scale up so quickly. So some of these ventures, they will scale from 0 employees to 100 employees in 1 year.
And during COVID.
And during COVID, yeah, it's amazing. So how do they do that? That's a real management challenge.
Yeah.
That really rounds out your kind of understanding when you're talking to the people who actually did it, which I suppose we should really talk about the ecosystem then.
Oh yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Galway has a really thriving entrepreneurial ecosystem. It's not a big city, but it's the most diverse city in Ireland. It is a medtech hub, a global hub. So I have a PhD student who's working on this, and it's one of about the top 6 to top 8 in the world. So 9 out of the 10 top medtech companies are based here, or have a European base here. We have within the university, we have a student enterprise hub, of course, but we also have quite a number of specialist master's degrees for technologists on either medtech or ICT or ag tech. And so the students on our program get a chance to work with the founders on those programs and get experience in helping those CEOs and getting a feel for what it's like to be a founder's associate. And who knows, they might end up joining those firms right at the early stage where it's really exciting. We've also got a number of incubators and accelerators for different sectors, and we work very closely with them. So I run financial modeling classes for one of our local accelerators, actually several of them. So we're very well integrated with the local ecosystem, and they help us and we help them.
Great. And so I know this is too early. I mean, one of the questions that we always get is, what is the graduate employability rate? And this is going to be your first year, so it's unfair to ask you that. But maybe you can tell us a little bit about, I know you've mentioned CEOs, you mentioned founders and companies. Could you give everyone maybe an idea of where they could expect to maybe intern with or eventually work with?
Sure. Do you want to go with that, or shall I?
And yeah, you can start, and I can add if I have anything.
Yeah, sure. So, so we mentioned this founders associate role, and there are CEOs looking for founders associates all the time, and in increasing numbers. And so I think we see that if you haven't got your own business idea, but you want to get involved in this entrepreneurship movement, that's an ideal route. And it could be in Ireland, or it could be at home, wherever home is, or it could be in London or Berlin, or other hotspots in Europe or elsewhere. We also think we'll get quite a few people coming from the family business background. So they will either go back into the family business and run, say, a new division or something like that. Or they might decide to start their own venture, but with family business backing. So those are, I see those as the two main ones. I think we'll also get some people who are coming with their own idea, and they will use the skills development in the course to further their own business idea, develop and test business models. So, for example, in the founder selling course, they'll be engaging in customer discovery directly for their own venture. They'll be developing a sales strategy document for their own venture, whereas other people in the class might be developing it for somebody else, for a CEO of a startup. So there's always the possibility to tailor it to your own venture. It's also quite possible that halfway through the program, people will switch what they thought they were going to do. So some people might decide that somebody else's business idea is more exciting than the one they came with, and they might end up as a founder's associate. Whereas other people might have come in thinking that they're going to work for somebody else, and actually, make contact with one of our technological entrepreneurs who desperately needs some management input, some help with sales, for example, or finance, things they know nothing about, HR, and they become partners. That's also possible.
Great.
Just
Yeah,
interesting student cases came to my mind. So though this year is the first year we're taking students for this program, but we do have some international students. Two came to my mind. They are from India, in fact. They had their own business back in India, but then they decide to take this module, or take this program here, though not this one, but another one that was more innovation related. And then after the program, they decided to work in Ireland for a couple of years to gain local experience, and then either to start their next new venture here or to expand the previous one to Ireland, to Irish market. So this is also, these are real cases from our prior students, alumni for now. So, but I think that's also something that might be interesting for some potential students for this program.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you. And there is a question on so what basically what would a student need? What sort of degree would they need a bachelor's in a business degree to be eligible for this program? Is there anything that you're looking for in particular?
And I'm happy to take. So no, we are open to any bachelor degree in any area, because we're aware that entrepreneurship is not only for business. Because though, for example, from medtech, as Jonathan has mentioned, and from engineering, there are a lot of possibilities for creating new venture or for working in those new ventures in those fields. So we are definitely open to all different fields, different areas.
Okay, wonderful. So that's that question answered. And there is, of course, one on scholarships. But before that, if you could tell us what is the expected tuition fee for non-EU students, and then if there any funding, please.
Yeah. So for this year, if I remember correctly, the tuition fee for non-EU student is around 20K per year, and it's a one-year program. So that's it. And did we talk about scholarship? So for the scholarship part, I think we do we do have one full scholarship for this program, but it's normally split into two. So we might have two students who got half of the tuition fee waived. Yeah.
Okay, great,
And
great.
everyone, as long as you apply, you are eligible for the application of the scholarship.
And this program is currently open for applications up
Yes.
till June, May, or so, that I'm presuming. And is there a particular class size that you're looking at, a certain number?
I think for now, we are not looking at a specific number because we would love more diversity, and then would like to have the kind of integration of opinions and thoughts and expertise from different area. And yeah, and also now it's very exciting that because the application is open, we have some applications already coming, and then it's very exciting to see that we do have a very diverse pool of applicants from all over the world, all different countries. It's really great to see.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
I just
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
add a bit to that.
Mhm.
So personally, I'd like to see, you know, about 20 students taking this course in the first year, but they will be getting to know students from some of our other management discipline masters classes. So they'll be in a network of what, about 150 to 150 or so, maybe a bit more
Yeah, a bit more than
students
that.
altogether. So you know, there's a bigger pool that they'll be working with. So that they'll have their own specialist classes,
Yeah.
but also they'll be. In fact, I see some of the students here. We're in a beautiful kind of workspace for
Should I turn
students
the camera
with. Yeah, sure.
just to show you?
Be great. Oh, lovely.
So we are looking at the students over there.
Nice, wide open and friendly spaces with lots of color.
Yeah.
And also, maybe for students from here, could you give us an idea on the sort of diversity they can expect in their classrooms, and a little bit about University of Galway in terms of maybe just the campus, because it is a beautiful campus, and I think it would really add to their sort of experience.
Should I start from a
Yeah,
non-local perspective?
sure.
Yeah, just a bit of background, because myself, I'm from China and I worked in Germany before coming here. So for me, I do find Galway, for the size of the city, is really a very vibrant ecosystem here. And then it's a lovely city for living as well, because it's very safe. And then the diversity is not only in classroom, also when you walk on the street, you will see a lot of international people. And also it's how should I put it? It's a very communal city in a way that it's very easy to work with people. For example, Jonathan mentioned the founders we're going to be working with in the business. So here, people like business people, they are very happy to work with the university, and also because University of Galway has a really good reputation, not only in Galway, but also in Ireland, because we do have alumni who is working in a bank in Dublin now, and they are saying because of the name of the university, it increased their chances of having some opportunities. And then back to the question about the campus. The campus is located in the center of the city, and then along a nice river that flows into the sea. So if you walk along the river, you go to the entrance into the sea where it meets the sea. And also the campus is very big and it's very green, which I really like, because for example, at noontime when you feel, oh, I feel a bit of afternoon climate, then you can just take a walk, and it's very green and it's lovely, it's beautiful, and I hope to see you here soon.
Thank you, Jen. Anything that you'd like to add?
Well, I think Yasin has put it beautifully. What can I say? The sun is shining here. We have daffodils in bloom. So spring is here already, and we're looking forward to the summer. We're beside the sea, so in fact, a lot of faculty, before they come to work, they go for a sea swim, and some of them do that all year round.
Every day.
Every day, yeah, they're braver than me. Yeah,
Amazing.
so so what can I say? It is a very welcoming city.
It is certainly.
I think people have a good time here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when we talk about University of Galway to sort of prospective students, we say it's almost like a Harry Potter experience for them, and it is a stunning campus. I came 2 years ago, so and yes, summer is coming, so it's the best time in Ireland right now, and even when students will come in September.
Yeah.
So that's been wonderful. I also had a question. I was going to quickly, maybe if we can, if you don't mind, end on one last question on
Of course.
any module or class that you're looking forward to teaching.
Here's what I'm looking forward to. Actually, I'm probably going to teach the entrepreneurial finance class, but one of my favorites is this founder selling class. My colleague Raja might end up teaching that class, but you can really see people develop personally in that class. Because, of course, one of the things you have to do with founder selling is become resilient to the no's. And you also have to realize that this is about customer discovery. It's about almost being like an anthropologist and learning about your customer as opposed to trying to sell something that you've dreamt up. It's really about what are their needs, what are their pain points, and to watch students go through this process of discovering what selling is really about, and then building their own resilience. And we have some really great exercises for them to do that. And the reflections that they write afterwards about that journey are really amazing. Actually, some of them are life changing. Actually.
Wonderful. Yushin, what about you?
And for me, I think I look forward to delivering or working with you on this applied consultancy project. Not only because I will be working with you on that module, but also because in that module, you will be working on a proposed challenge from one of the local venture. So it gives you an opportunity to address or to act as if you were in the role of the founder's associate and working with the local team. And also because in this module, it's more like a program level project. You will be applying all different skills, tools, and techniques you learn from all different modules. So I think it's going to be exciting. And also it provides students the opportunity of not testing the water in a way, but also try as if, or to think as if they were in the role, and then to see how it works, and then also to learn from the experience by working closely with a real venture team.
Great. Yeah. Sorry.
Could I add one last thing very quickly,
Please.
just to follow up on that?
Yes.
The great thing about working with CEOs in young ventures, compared to say a big company or something, is that they will implement what you're suggesting or talking about. They will implement it the following day,
Yes.
if not the same day.
Yes.
And you get to see the impact of your own work. You've made a difference, not just to that company, but sometimes down the road to the world.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you. And I'd love to sort of ask you about the modules, because I think the sort of passion and interest that you bring into designing your curriculum comes through, and that's what we love to hear as well. So thank you both. It's been a very enlightening and enjoyable half hour. And I really hope we have audience joining us not only from India but from Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bangladesh. So I hope you get students from across these 4 countries for this master's program, and I wish you lots of luck. And I'm sure students will not regret doing something that is so well thought of, and it's a very non-traditional program. So I think it'll do really well, and good luck to both of you as well. And thank you so much once again.
Thank you, Anam, for coordinating this, and thank you everyone for joining us here. Look forward to seeing you here.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.